Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. I know there will probably be a lot of new people to this channel, and hello, welcome, I'm Bri. If you are new, a little backstory about me is that a big contributor to why I got back into reading and why I made this channel is because of Little Free Libraries, a little bit because of Dollar Tree, because I was able to afford books at Dollar Tree. Was I then able to trade my books at some Little Free Libraries that I discovered, and that's how this channel became. If you haven't seen, I do make a lot of Little Free Library content of me going out to them and looking through books and trading books, donating books, all the 9 yards. And I took it one step further by actually getting my own Little Free Library, which was kind of like, I guess, like half a year process for me personally. And I kind of wish I knew a lot of things that I do now, like opportunities for Little Free Libraries, getting one, installing one, and what comes after and so forth. So I'm going to be answering those questions that I wish I knew when starting a Little Free Library. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Little Free Libraries, then how I got into mine, and then how it's been so far. Okay, so that was the dump trucks apparently. They moved a little bit down the road, so hopefully you can't. Okay, now there's a whole bunch of noises going on. Anyways, trying to get past this because it's the only time I have to film. So a Little Free Library is like this really cute box that either looks like a home, maybe even resembles like a giant birdhouse that is put in somebody's front yard or even in front of schools or organizations. And usually there's different names for it, like a sharing box, exchanging box, there's even pantry boxes. Little Free Library is an organization that I guess jump-started the boom of these Little Free Libraries. Little Free Library is I'm gonna read it, is a nonprofit organization that promotes neighborhood book exchanges, usually in the form of public bookcases. It provides free book exchanges where they can have meaningful impact in the United States and all over the world, increasing access to books for readers of all ages and backgrounds. So yeah, like I said, it's pretty much like a book exchange. You technically do not need to exchange a book to take a book from these Little Free Libraries. It's a free book box pretty much. I don't recommend you taking all the books. Keep in mind these books are for people who need them or don't have access to books near you. So do keep that in mind. I would say that if you don't have a book, taking 1 or 2 books is not a crime at all. So, but usually Little Free Library goes through a rule of exchanging. So you will take a book and leave a book. Like I said, it's not a crime if you take 2 books at most without trading in a book. So now that you know what a Little Free Library is, how do you get a Little Free Library? And unfortunately, I have to say, Little Free Libraries are not free. You do have to either pay out of pocket or set up a donation page and have people donate to you building a Little Free Library. Usually if you're handy, you can probably build one yourself. If you know somebody who's handy and can build one for you. You can also buy these off the Little Free Library website, off of Etsy and some other places as well. Usually it ranges between $200 to $1,000, and that just depends on the look of the box and how big it is as well. Mind you, that much money is only for the box itself. It doesn't include the materials that you need, like cement, or I guess the bracket that goes in between a post and the little library box, and then the post for the library. So yeah, do keep that in mind when you're thinking of getting a Little Free Library. Of course, there's other ways to, how do I explain? So do keep that in mind if you want to get a Little Free Library. You may want to save up for one if you're paying out of pocket. There are some other opportunities that I will share with you. The Little Free Library website has a program that is called the Impact a Little Free Library, where you can apply to get a Little Free Library. I do not know if you have to pay for this Little Free Library or if it's free. I would think that they handle most of the costs for you with how this program words it, it seems like it, but again, I'm not 100% sure. I wish I would have known about it. I will definitely leave a link for you guys in the description box down below. A lot of these I am providing links for, so again, if you need them, they're in the description box. But before applying, just know that one of the things that goes into the Impact Little Library program is that you're gonna have to apply and answer a lot of questions to be able to be considered to see if you apply for this program pretty much. Another thing, like I said earlier, donations. You can pretty much open a donation for people to donate money for your program. I think on Facebook, anywhere that you can pretty much set up a donation for people to know what you're planning to do. Definitely recommend that. I know a lot of people have done that. Just again, know the price range of what you're going to spend for this little free library, plus the books that you are going to add to the little free library as well. Another option, which is, spoiler alert, the option that I had chose was making a little free library out of like home furniture or like repurposing items slash furniture. I've seen a ton of them that are like super cool that have been made out of microwaves, refrigerators, old china cabinets, and a ton more that are really cool and really outside the box. I haven't personally seen them around me, but like I said, I kind of did that for myself, but I'll go into how I did mine later. So yeah, that's pretty much the resources that I have for you guys to know how to get your own little free library. Another thing I will mention is if you have seen a little free library, you will usually see a plaque on the front door. Maybe you haven't seen one. I kind of want to tell you guys about this plaque and the benefits of getting it, but I will tell you guys that you do not have to get this plaque. It does cost money. I think it's about 20 or 40 bucks for this metal small plaque that you put on the front of your little free library. You buy this plaque off of the Little Free Library website, and when you get it, it gives you your own charter number, which is the number for your library. I think most people think that it's just for the look and for people to know that, it is a Little Free Library, but you do get a lot of great benefits from having this plaque. One of the benefits is that if you have this charter number, there is a Little Free Library app which you can open and set up your library's account. You can name it. You can keep up to date with everybody who wants to check out your Little Free Library. Another thing, people can find your Little Free Library on this map, which is pretty amazing, especially knowing that they can sign a virtual guest book, which is really cool. So yeah, I really recommend doing that. It would just give you a lot of traction to your library. Another thing is that if you have this little library plaque, maybe before you actually get a Little Free Library, it allows you to join a Little Free Library Stewards Facebook group, which if you have any questions or want to talk to people about your Little Free Library, you can there. It's really great, and they always provide really good resources for certain things or specific things. And lastly, it gives you a lot of book opportunities. If you cannot afford books for your Little Free Library, it provides like a lot of opportunities near you to get free books. So Good Morning America has like a giveaway every month that you can apply for to get a free book for your Little Free Library. And there's different opportunities to get either a book or a box of books for free sent to you, and it's really amazing and great to have that resource. So lastly on this subject, let's say you're not sure how you're going to get books for your Little Free Library. I would definitely recommend checking out any local like thrift stores if you can get books there from your own book collection. Maybe you have books that you couldn't sell and you just want to get rid of them. You can totally put them in the Little Free Library, or you can ask family, friends for books to donate. Also, if you check out, wish I'd known this in the beginning, but there's a Facebook group that's called Buy Nothing, insert whatever city you're from. So example, I'm in Houston, so I would go to Buy Nothing Houston, and in that in this Facebook group, it's pretty much you get rid of things for free and people take things for free. Nobody pays money for anything. Definitely recommend putting out your Little Free Library on there for people to come and check it out, but also to let people know that, hey, I'm looking for books. If you can donate, I appreciate it. I've had amazing people donate books to Little Free Library when I didn't exactly know where I would be getting most of my books from. Okay, I think I did a lot of talking on that, but I hope a lot of this helps you guys. Again, I wish I knew some of these things going in, but now I know, and I hope that you guys know now. I hope you guys know what to expect going into getting a Little Free Library. So now I will go into my process of me getting a Little Free Library. Like I had said previously, I got into reading because of Little Free Libraries. So for a while, I had been wanting to make my own Little Free Library or getting my own Little Free Library. Again, did not know the price range of how much they would cost. And I don't have that kind of money to spend, nor am I crafty, so I couldn't do that either. So I had the idea for like a few months. Then I started to look at the Little Free Libraries on the website and on Etsy, and then discovering how much they cost, which I was like, okay, I guess I can look for another option. Discovered that people were repurposing things into Little Free Libraries. Saw like newspaper stands were made into them. Like I said, refrigerators and stuff like that. I didn't think that my parents would want a refrigerator in front of their house. Yes, I did get permission to do this at my parents' house. So I was trying to look for maybe like a cabinet that resembled a little library. Unfortunately, with all my research, either they were also expensive or I just could not find one, until one day while I was scrolling through a Facebook Market, and my saved search was cabinets, and one of them looked just like a Little Free Library. And also, mind you, at the time, my mom was thinking of just making one. She's more handy. She's very handy. She's a very handy person, but she just didn't have the time to do it. And I'm definitely not a handy person at all. So she was pretty much kind of like, well, maybe we'll just build it. But then she had also mentioned to me that maybe we should look for something that's not wood and metal instead, because it would last longer. And after having my Little Free Library for a while, and especially being on the Facebook group for Little Library Stewards, wooden Little Free Libraries do not last that long. So do know that going ahead with getting like a wooden Little Free Library, that is a possibility that can happen because it's wooden. So during my research, I had looked for metal cabinets to repurpose, and I found this one, which was amazing because, like I said, it looked just like a little library. And I think it was like 20 bucks on Facebook Market. It was probably like 40 minutes away from me, but where the lady lived, my mother worked by, so while she was over there during lunch, she picked it up and brought it home. And then it was trying to weatherproof this cabinet. So just keep in mind, if you're going to repurpose a household item, it's not going to be that easy, because you're going to have to think of how to weatherproof this thing, which again, depending on what you're using, there's different things that you need. So again, with my mom's help, we went to Home Depot that was near us, and we picked up a few things like some screws, a fence post, and two of them, I don't know what they're called. I don't know if they're like chicken coop fences. I don't know, but originally that's what we were gonna use to put this Little Free Library up. And then we got like a rubber weather seal, which is usually used for doors and windows. And that was pretty much what we were working with in the beginning. There was also, I guess, like, there wasn't a good latch for the Little Free Library. So we ended up taking it off and putting on a new one. It didn't really work. So during that time, while waiting to figure out what else to do, I just started painting the Little Free Library. My favorite color is pink, and I was gonna color it pink, just so that you guys know, okay? It was gonna be pink, but I like the idea of the little library matching your house so much that I was like, oh, I think I will go with blue, because on the outside of our house is kind of blue. And that was the whole process, because I don't really spray paint. I don't really spray paint things much. My dad's really good at it, so he was kind of helping me through it as well while I was spray painting. And I think I remember spray painting like the whole library. And then once I was done with the whole thing, I then changed my mind that I wanted the door to be white. So yeah, like I said, the whole process for me, but it looked amazing, and I was so happy with the outcome of how it looked. And then I was excited to get everything else done. I don't think I filmed it, but we put the seal on. I think I have like a little clip. I think I have like a small clip of afterwards that we put the seal on, and these magnets that you would stick onto either side, and then they would stick together. And it was the perfect solution to waterproofing this cabinet. So pat on the back for me and for my mom, because she was the one that came up with these amazing ideas. So after, I think it had been like half a month since doing all that, so the library kind of sat on a table in the backyard for a while until we were able to actually figure out how we were going to install this library. Again, mom's super smart, like all moms are. And she ended up getting a different kind of fence post and these like brackets that I don't know what they're originally used for. I don't know if they're like for putting on the side of the house. I'm not entirely sure, but she got these brackets that I have a clip of. It's in this clip, and I don't know what they're called, but she used those so that we would be able to install it onto the Little Free Library, and drill it into the Little Free Library, screw it on, and then be able to lift this heavy cabinet onto the pole. I don't think I have footage of it, but we did install the pole into cement in the front yard. I know there's different ways that you can install a little library, but this is how we did it. So after cementing it, we then, again, like I said, slid this heavy library or cabinet library onto the pole, secured it, and then it was all set pretty much. I guess another note is, even when you have the materials, it will probably take either a month or a few months till you are able to actually install the Little Free Library. It happens, but like I said, just keep that in mind. So as of this month, I think it's February, it's been like 3 or 4 months since I had the Little Free Library, and it's been amazing. So how do I tell you guys? So after installing it, I made social media accounts for my Little Free Library. I made one on Facebook and I made one on Instagram. Instagram, I do have to say, you get a lot more support from fellow Little Free Library stewards. They may not be in your area. They could be from different states, from different countries even, which is pretty amazing. And I think on Facebook, I find more of the people who come to the Little Free Library there, which is still cool. I'd like to have both. They both give me the opportunity to communicate to people what books I have, what new books I have, any updates, and book opportunities as well. So I highly recommend you doing that. I also really recommend you promoting your Little Free Library anywhere and everywhere you can, because surprisingly, and you may not think it at the time, people are really excited to get to use Little Free Libraries. Personally, for me, in my neighborhood, there is no Little Free Library near me. We are kind of a like low income, a bit of a high petty theft area as well. So in the beginning, when I was planning to put a Little Free Library up, I was kind of worried that 1, it would be graffitied, and 2, the books would be destroyed as well. it's really well known that things will get graffitied on for no reason at all, and that's what I was expecting. But overall, I cannot like commend my community enough for keeping this little library that I put up in such well condition and just treat it so well. It really makes me happy. I never expected it. I had low expectations on how this was going to be. I had a little bit of hope that maybe this would go well. But again, did not expect for the amazing outpour of love for this little library and just the amount of respect that it has as well. I have like regulars who come by, pick out a book, and either they still have it, or there are some regulars who do come by and take a book for a while. If they finish it, they come and bring it back and trade it for another book. And it's just been amazing, and I've had so much fun doing this little free library. It's crazy. So in the end, I was pretty proud to, finally have a little free library in our neighborhood. I've had a ton of people ask, how do I get one? I would also like to have one. How do I do it? And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I totally want to encourage you, if you're in an area that doesn't have like big book opportunities, or maybe you've seen little free libraries in the nicer part of town, but in your neighborhood there are none. I hope this is like a message for you to make one or help somebody else make one. I just can't get over how amazing this thing has been so far. So yeah, anyways, enough of me rambling. Yeah, like I said, totally recommend you reaching out to different social platforms. Neighborhood app is also a really good place to promote your little free library. It's just great to put the word out there so that people can check it out, because there will be people who just have no idea what it is, and it's great to put that information out. I also recommend I recommend you making your own little like card that tells you how the little free library works. Again, like I said, some people aren't going to know how it works, and they have a lot of questions about it. And I think having a little information paper in the corner or inside your little free library is very helpful to help people know what's going on, what it is, and so forth. So after having installed my little free library and putting it on social media, like I said, I reached out on the Facebook group Buy Nothing Houston. I got a lot of books, but I did end up getting a lot of books from these amazing people who wanted to donate. I had some books of my own that I ended up finding at 5 different thrift stores around me. There were pretty good selections. Some of them were also from my own shelves, and I was pretty happy with how much books I had. And because in this little library, it had like 3 shelves already installed, I made one the adult section, the second one was young adult, and the third one was children's books. So I have children and middle grade at the bottom of my shelves. So after this, I was super excited to finally let people know, hey, it's open, we have books. And like I had said earlier, people were really happy to know that this existed, and a ton of people came by. And once I said that it was open, in the first week, nobody had came by. And I was kind of sad about it, because there were people who were excited, but it just didn't seem like anybody came by. But second week came around, and I witnessed somebody go to the little free library, and I think they only took a book. And after being a creeper for a little bit and watching them, pick through a book and finally take one, I was so excited and inspired, to just keep going, and confirm to myself that I did make a good choice on putting this little free library up. I couldn't even explain to you the feelings that I had. It was amazing, actually. It was pretty amazing. So yeah, I have to say overall, it's been a great experience. I've been having the time of my life. I've also learned a ton of things through Little Free Library. Anyways, if you've probably noticed, my voice is going out. I don't know why, but I'm going to leave it here. I hope that I was able to answer pretty much most of your questions. If not, please feel free to leave a question in the comments below. I will be more than happy to try to answer any of your questions and give you links to things. Like I said, a lot of these stuff that I talk about, I will leave links for in the description box down below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Happy reading, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.